Hey everyone, welcome to my van tour. I'm finally getting around to doing a tour. It's, I guess it's kind of still work in progress, but it's at a level now I'm really comfortable with. But anyway, without further ado, I thought I'd start outside just because there are a couple of things outside that sometimes I would use inside. For instance, the solar panels there, they actually work. If I don't want to kind of leave them out all day if I'm not around, because I've already had something stolen, which was a solar panel. You can actually pop it in the windscreen there, and actually even through the glass, so it's really good actually. It's been brilliant. It's 14 watts, which may not sound a lot, but honestly it charges quite quick. So that can sit inside. The other thing is cooking, so I tend to cook outside. I don't like to make the inside of the van really smelly with food, because I like spicy food and garlic and all that kind of thing, and the moisture as well, and I just prefer to cook outside. If it's raining or occasionally in the morning, I will actually make coffee inside. It kind of depends, but generally I'll cook. So I've got just a single one there. I've actually got a double stove as well. I tend to use this single one just because it's really easy to set up. The double one, I had to screw things in, and just takes a bit of time. This bucket as well, it's really handy. It's like a foldable one, and I use it for washing, and I can make it into a washing up bowl as well for plates and cutlery and whatever. It's really cool. So anyway, without further ado, we'll go into the van. So I'll kind of start off where I'm sitting on my sofa bed. So up on the wall here, so the sides, initially I wasn't too happy about having carpet. I'm probably still not in a way, but it's actually really useful for sticking things using Velcro, which is what this kind of little thing is. Don't even know what you call it. That's basically stuck on with Velcro. Sorry, the light's not great in here. It's actually my phone. Well, I'm getting a new phone in a couple of days, but it's a bit dark there. So it's really useful. So this is stuck on with Velcro on the back, and so the netting, I got this mosquito net recently, which is really cool. I can't believe I kind of survived without one, because the flies where I am are quite bad when I'm kind of outside, so it's well in the daytime, but they basically just stick on with Velcro again. And this fan, again, it's not great, the light, but you can see that it's just a little fan that runs off a USB power pack. I've not had to use it so much now with the temperatures slightly cooler here in Valencia, but in Barcelona I had that thing going on at night, and it's only small, but it actually just does enough to take the, when it's really still, just makes a massive difference. So this is just a push light, just with normal batteries. I have another light here that I can hang up. The thing is, because it's midsummer, I don't really need lights, because normally when it gets dark, it's so late, I'm normally kind of getting ready for bed. Hay fever stuff in there as well, so I can easily access it in the morning. I've got hooks that I've stuck on at various places. That's sometimes why I have that light hanging out. So so taking you to the front, there's not really much going on in the front, because it's just the normal front of a van. But I do tend to when I'm stationary for a few days, I'll just kind of put stuff in the front out of the way. I have my blinds up there, the sun reflectors, and I tend to hang it. So this netting is what I had before over the door, but it doesn't really let breeze in, so, but it's kind of cool just to hang over there. And my guitar there, and my son sunshades sitting outside, umbrellas. But yeah, that's basically the front. I had this useful thing that I bought that you can kind of hang over the back, you know, just like a little organizer kind of thing. And I have bags and wet wipes, which are really useful. And I have this thing that I made, really simple thing out of a bottle, to put a funnel for the, if I ever put vegetable oil in the van, which I don't at the moment because it's diesel so cheap here. So there's storage under there, which kind of looks like a mess, but it's kind of organised. More storage under there, and I have spices and stuff. So this takes me on to my main units, which, apologies for the dog. So these are the Ikea Kallax units. Now there are two. There's one, like just a double one here, and there's 4 there. So you can kind of see there in the middle. So they were like, I think this one, if I remember, was £25 and this was £20. So we're talking £45 for all the units. These things are like £7 each, basically. Although the red one was £3. And that's where I kind of store nearly all my stuff. So like in this one, for instance, I have like my electronic stuff. I have some camping gear as well in there, and I have all my clothes. I don't have a lot of clothes, but what I do have is all in there. And here I kind of have random stuff like my kettle, cool bag, gas, this kind of thing going on. Here these plastic ones are more solid and probably a bit better. I'd probably have all them if I could be bothered rather than these kind of material ones. But yeah, I have most of my cooking stuff in there, and spices and sauces and tonight's dinner. Put those out. Whoops. This is a kind of drawer. I can't really pull that out with one hand, but you can kind of get the idea. There's cat food in there, and this one I've got like my pots and pans and plates and that kind of thing. And in here I have my toiletries, random packet of crisps, and I have like tools in the back there, and nails and glue and all that kind of thing. So these units, yeah, they've worked really well. I have them screwed down. The ply underneath is only about 8mm, so they're kind of screwed down pretty well, but you know, I could literally pull them out if I wanted to. They're not like super, but you know, they don't move. So when I do travel though, I have to, these do slide out if I go around the corner. So most people in a van would get something to attach to go across to stop them, and I just haven't got around to doing it. And I just basically, whenever I travel, I just take the top 3 out and put them in front of the bottom 3, and then it's all good. And you know, it takes seconds, and it, you know, they don't move then. So on the top, so I have this metal wind shield, which is obviously really useful for cooking. And I very, like I said, outside I very rarely cook in here. I do tend to heat water up in here for coffee, so obviously I'm very careful with having curtains near the flames. Obviously I pull them back, but yeah, I do most of the cooking outside. So these trays are really handy because they're kind of rubbery underneath and they don't slide. I can just leave stuff on them when I travel. I bought another one, and again, these, you know, just very simple kind of rubbery mats are really cool. This here is my moisture trap to get rid of the damp in the van, and I think it's worked really well. It's kind of dry and hot here now, so I don't bother, and I can have the windows down. But I had some, can't really see, but there's like white crystals in there. I can't remember the name of the crystals, but they, anyway, that's really effective. Yeah, there's my keyboard and tablet, part of my electronics gear, which I will show you in another video at some point. So yeah, going back to the Velcro, that's all my, this thing here is all the European travel kit, like the triangle and all the other things you need, and that actually just stick that's stuck on with Velcro, just a little thing there. And yeah, so this little bit here I was going to talk about. So originally I planned to extend the units across, make them higher, you know, make them look more like a kind of regular camper van. But to be honest, for the very simple reason that I'll show you now, I really like sitting across on my little sofa chair, and obviously if I had units there, I guess I could have kind of ones that don't come out so far, but I kind of like having this space free. I like the sense of space in this van rather than having, you know, wall-to-wall units, and you know, it just works really well for me. I mean, to have more units would be cool, so I could put stuff away and not have a random hold all down there with there's stuff in there like my wetsuit and softball gear and other outdoor gear that I don't really use that much. I mean, it'd be really nice to have that put away, but honestly I kind of like this space, and of course the obligatory world map on the wall as well. So yeah, it's kind of very basic layout and very affordable. I mean, these units, I mean, 50, like £70 for all that, and you know, the trays were a couple of £1, and the windshield thing, I think that was like £12. And the thing I'm sitting on, which is the last thing I'm going to show you, is my sofa bed. Now, I'm not going to put it all out, but I think you've seen it on other videos anyway. But basically, it just kind of works. You just you can kind of see there how it works. You just kind of pull it out, and it's really comfortable. I keep it covered, obviously in the daytime, but honestly, it was £130. So with the units, all from Ikea, you know, we're talking about, I only spent like £200, which is like $250, if that, to get the, you know, the main things in here, and the bed and the units. So, and the other great thing is, I mean, things are attached and stuff, but honestly I could turn this back into a blank canvas in probably half an hour, probably less than that actually, if I was in a hurry, and it would literally be how I found it when I bought it. So, so, which, you know, in terms of selling on, that's really cool. I can kind of sell it as a very basic camper, which it is. I mean, this would just be way too basic for most people. Maybe as a day van, you know, it could be used, but it's not really. Yeah, it kind of looks like a camper van, but it's not really. I mean, I don't have like sink, you know, electricity. I showed you earlier outside. I have the solar panel, and I don't have all, you know, the split charger, and you know, the other things really that makes a camper van. It's very basic, but you know, it kind of does the job for me. So yeah, so that's the van tour. I just thought I should get around to showing you, and yeah, I hope it kind of inspires you, and goes to show you don't really need to spend a lot. If you do buy an empty van, you don't really have to spend a lot to make it livable in. That's really, and you don't need any particular skills. I mean, putting those IKEA units together and putting this bed together was probably the hardest thing. And you know, it's just an IKEA thing that you know, you have the instructions and everything's included, all the screws and everything, but that was probably the hardest thing. And yeah, so it's kind of doable for anybody. And let's face it, IKEA is everywhere. So but yeah, that's it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you on the next video.